But the point is, some people, their mental horsepower is very low. It's not a matter of what they apply themselves to. It's a matter of they don't have the resources. Their brain doesn't work good. And I've met a lot of people like that, and I know you have too, where you're like, this guy ain't never going to be a genius. There's no inspiration in him. There's nothing enthusiastic. He doesn't have a thing he's really into. He doesn't have a thing he likes. He's just dull-minded for whatever reason. I don't know if it's genetics. I don't know if it's just a roll of the dice or maybe the way he was raised. I don't know. But some people they don't have a good brain. They just don't. So those guys, they get that fucking Nigerian prince email, they're like, this is it. This is my ticket out of here. They start fucking scraping up coins, putting quarters in rolls, bringing them to the bank.
I believe in faith. Like if you're broke and you go put $2 on a picket ticket because there's a $175 billion, I believe in that. I believe in all that type of stuff, Joe. But
that's the biggest scam in the world.
What's that?
The lottery.
Well, I'm not talking, even when I was a kid, the numbers. It's 3 numbers.
Yeah,
you put $5, you win $2,500, okay? Mm-hmm. In those small, in the 70s and 60s, in the black communities, the Spanish communities.
Italian communities.
That's a way of hope.
Yeah.
Your Sicilian grandmother wakes up one morning and says, oh, my God, I had a dream about peppers.
Yeah.
Okay? Peppers. And all of a sudden her grandmother yells, Peppers, that's 68.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're like, put a prefix on it, 568. And, this is your trip to Italy.
Mm-hmm.
This is your chance to buy your son a car. It's like that little faith that you have.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something that you have a chance at.
It's fun, too.
It's fun,
The same thing as the problem with drinking, same thing as the problem with everything else, is that people lose their fucking minds.
It's an excess.
And then it becomes everything. I told you about my grandmother, right, with the numbers?
Yeah. Wasn't she a loan shark, too?
She went to jail. My grandmother went to jail for 6 months because she wouldn't rat out the people that were running the numbers. Yeah. Wow. We'd go to visit Grandma. Where's Grandma? Grandma's visiting Aunt Josie. Like she was with Aunt Josie for 6 months. It was ridiculous. Yeah, she was knitting for the fucking guards in prison. She wouldn't rat. So they put her away for 6 months.
For bookmaking. Yeah, so those immigrants, those people with dreams,
yep.
I see that. But somebody just fucking calling you and going, hey, if you lend me $5 or telling an evangelist, whatever the fuck you're saying.
Yeah.
Dog, I'm even like, and I hate to say this in public, but I'm down on like fucking charities and shit.
Well,
because they don't get the fucking money either unless you donate to St. Jude or something like that. Some guy's driving a BMW.
Mm-hmm.
And the people I sent the money to, and it's happened to us. We saw it. We gave money and nothing happens. And you're like, what the fuck, guys? So now you just give it direct.
Have you ever seen those charts that show like what the money you give to charity, how much actually goes to the cause? How much of it is just overhead? It's in some places it's like 90%.
It's ridiculous.
So it's like 10% of the money goes to the charity. It's a very inefficient thing. And then you have things where the people that are running it are making enormous salaries. And then they're like, look at the Black Lives Matter thing, where the girls were buying $6 million houses. Like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? And like, oh, we use this for events. It's just that happens with so many charities and so many charitable organizations. And then there's charitable organizations like there's foundations that are set up just as tax breaks. So there's like tax breaks involved if you have a foundation. It's a charitable foundation that works towards good causes, like maybe climate change or maybe, something along those lines, health, the global health. And then you get involved in that, and it's a nice way to avoid paying taxes. You move money around. You put money in the foundation. You can kind of move it around. It's these guys that are involved in charitable organizations. The thought behind it is beautiful. Like, wouldn't it be great if people donated all this money to charity and we could fix a lot of things? But what you're really doing in a lot of ways is you're pumping up the business of these charities. And then they pump up their advertising revenue, they pump up their social media profile, their campaigns, their this, their that. And then they get co-opted. They get co-opted by companies, corporations, pharmaceutical companies, different mandates and narratives that they'd like to promote. And next thing you know, charitable organizations are a part of the propaganda machine. And it's all being funded by enormous amounts of money. And most of that money does not go to the actual cause itself.
It sucks.
Have you ever seen the charts?
Dog,
Pull up a chart of where the money goes. Try to find out see if there's a good chart that shows like
when I was
various like Red Cross, all these different
I
ones.
bumped into a nun once when I was going to Catholic school, and she told me that when people are looking for you for help, like when they're on the side of the street and they're asking you for help, that could be Jesus in disguise. So it fucked my world up. So I started donating as a kid. The first person I donated to was the black kid with the flies on him that they sent you the picture.
Yeah,
And
Sally
he wrote-
Struthers.
He wrote a letter. And
Kinnison had that bit about it.
And then I never got nothing after that. I'm writing letters. Nobody's writing me back. I want to know if the kid made it to the 6th grade. I was so fucking pissed as a kid. And then I would do the Heart Association walks. Like, that was my shit. And trust me, I skimmed off the top. I'm not going to lie to you. Because I would go to my mother's bar and I'd make them give me like $10 a mile. Come on.
Right.
You know, I would show up with like $3,000 and think I was a good kid. Finally, like after like the third year, I'm like, they're gonna get light this year. I'm making $3,000 fucking dollars here.
So look at the Red Cross. What's that?
I had it on a better website.
That wasn't too bad.
It's pretty small though.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Let's see what we got here. What percentage?
It's Syracuse there.
Okay. So this shows you all the money that comes in and how much of it actually goes to programs and how much of it goes to administration and how much of it goes to fundraising. So Red Cross looks pretty fucking good. Red Cross shows it's like 90% of the money goes to programs. Only 3.5% goes to administrative and 6% goes to fundraising. So this is what we donated to. Remember when we did those shows in San Diego right after the fire? And I'm like, we can't take money from these people. They just had this massive fire. Let's just donate all the money. So we donated the money to Red Cross because that seemed to be the best one. St. Jude's, 72%. And then it gets, when you start going down the line, it starts getting sketchy.
Oh, most of these are fine, but this one,
They're pretty good.
Wounded Warrior.
Wounded Warrior is a little weird.
34% back into fundraising.
Yeah, but you know, they still at least 60% of it, or close to 60% of it, goes